from St. Thomas. Boom, bam, kaboom. Show love, get love. Yes, I.
So we're happy to see everybody here, and pretty soon English Beat is going to be on stage. But you know, part of the real purpose and part of the great thing that makes JAX wonderful is that we have been able to give back in the last couple of years. And tonight's the night that we really celebrate JAX Cares and everything we do. So big hand for JAX Cares. And for those of you that aren't familiar with JAX Cares is a foundation that we founded as part of JAX Refrigeration. And what we're able to do by having our own nonprofit foundation is to be able to give back to local charities without having to designate a certain fundraiser. So we can raise funds during the whole year and then give back as needed. And so I'm going to introduce several of the charities that we are able to work with. One of the biggest charities and local charities that we found last October is Dreams Come True. And Sherry Criswell and Nora are going to tell you a little bit about Dreams Come True, and then we'll tell you about a few more. So, Sherry?
Thank you. Yay! All for Nora, right? So Dreams Come True is a local organization. We were founded here in Jacksonville in 1984, and our goal is to never have a waiting list and never turn down an eligible child. And we serve all children who either live here or are treated here and have been determined to have a life-threatening illness. And so today, we are honoring Miss Nora here, and the only reason, the only way we operate, we don't receive funding from anyone except people in our community, people like Mark and JAX Refrigeration, who are kind enough to step up and say, hey, we'll provide a dream for a child. And 100% of every dollar they give us goes to the dream of the child. And this year, Nora is going to be the recipient of that generosity. And I just want to share with you because her story to me is just amazing. And December 10th of last year, she was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And since that time, she has had 40 chemo treatments. She came here tonight after proton radiation therapy and is here with a smile on her face. And as if that's not enough, she completed the 3rd grade and is catching up in the 4th grade, and she is just on track to not skip a beat. And who in here could say that you could do that? So I think she is amazing. So we're just so proud of her, and we are even more proud to say that she's going to have her port removed. I think her mom said she was diagnosed on December 10th and is having her port removed on December 10th. So in a year, she is doing great and is looking forward to her dream in March or April, I think it is, on the Disney Dream. She's going to go on a cruise and celebrate being well. So thank you all very much for making this possible. And thank you.
So Nora, we have a couple gifts for you in anticipation of going on your cruise. So hopefully you can find a good place for those. Nora was just backstage meeting with Dave Wakeling, telling him what to play.
Thank you.
Thanks Nora. Big hand. So I think, if you guys remember the 5th anniversary party, we had Antonia and Marquise. They're here. Here they are up here. So they've been to St. Thomas and to Disney. So make sure you ask them about their trips. So the next organization, we're really privileged to be able to support multiple organizations, and we took a tour 2 weeks ago of YCC, and their facilities, and they do a great job, and it's just amazing what they're able to do, and they really provide a good safety net for a lot of troubled kids and families here in Jacksonville. So I'm going to bring up Pepper Pete from YCC, and she's going to tell you a little bit about her organization.
Good evening. Well, first of all, I'd just like to thank Mark. He is such a wonderful person. I really appreciate all the support you have shown YCC and to all the other nonprofits that you support. I mean, you're just an amazing person, so thank you, Mark. Just a little bit about YCC Youth Crisis Center. We have been around for more than 41 years. We were Florida's first runaway shelter, but we have evolved to so much more. We are actually a mental health counseling agency for kids ages 10 to 17. So we work with kids, we provide shelter that if you have a little bit of an issue, that kids need a rest, we have a 34-bed where kids can come, be counseled, their families can come, and we help de-escalate problems before they get out of hand. We also offer a on-site outpatient therapy program where you can come get help, and we have a residential piece where kids that have aged out of foster care, ages 18 to 21, one-bedroom efficiency apartments where kids can come and finish learning how to grow up and working with a transitional living coordinator. So we are doing great things in the community. We service all 5 counties here in Duval, in the greater Jacksonville area, and we actually will service kids outside of Florida. Because if kids run away from California and New York, they can come to our shelter, and we will get them back home as soon as we can. So once again, I thank you all for listening, and thank you. We have just launched our end of the year giving campaign. It's called the Jingle Express, and I'm really proud of this program. So the Jingle Express, for the next 6 weeks, every week we have a different initiative. The first week was conquering hunger, because when our kids are in our shelter, we provide 3 meals a day, 365 days a year. We have kids in our facility during the holidays. Then one of the stops is the gift station. We do have kids there at Christmas time, so we are asking for gifts so we can provide gifts, because when they wake up Christmas morning, we want to make sure that they have a Christmas as well. Then one of the stations would be covering the caboose. I don't know if you've ever seen kids standing on the side of the road and they don't have on enough clothes. Well, quite possibly they might not have a warm coat. So we want to make sure that we can provide warm clothes and coats and hats and mittens for kids. And then for our young adults, they do have a small stipend of paying a rent. So pay a rent for kids of $300 for the kids with one stop. And then I don't know if you all are aware of Giving Tuesday. You have Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, and then it's Giving Tuesday, the first Tuesday of the month. And that's where you give where you want, either give up your time or your treasure to your favorite organization. So hashtag Remember Giving Tuesday.
So Joy and I visited, we visited a couple weeks ago, and we were so moved that immediately we said we've got to do something. So we're going to give YCC $1,000 from the proceeds tonight towards gifts for the kids that are at the shelter. All right. Thank you, Pepper. Another organization that we've been very much involved with, and everyone say hi to Bolby back there. Bolby's part of the Michael Franti crew. Do It for the Love. Is Kim there? So Kim DiFilippo is here representing Do It for the Love. She's here as a volunteer. And she's going to tell you a little bit about their organization.
Hi everybody, I'm here representing the Do It for the Love Foundation. It's a wish-granting foundation for music. It brings the joy of hope and healing to those with life-threatening illnesses, severe challenges, and wounded veterans. And what they do is they allow these people to go and pick their artist of choice and go rock out on stage, backstage, go on the tour buses, sing with them on stage, play the drums backstage with Ringo Starr. It's a phenomenal foundation. I was lucky enough to get to see the foundation in action when I was on a music cruise with Michael Franti, and to hear the families and the caregivers of these WISH recipients was just phenomenal. It's what these people talk about for the rest of their lives. It's just so neat. And if you have a moment, if I haven't talked to you already, please come upstairs and check out everything that they do. There's no artist that's off limits. They've granted wishes from everybody from Taylor Swift to Ringo Starr to One Direction, David Bowie. If you go online to either Facebook, Instagram, and read their stories, you'll be hooked. They post every story that they grant a wish for. So please, please, please check them out. Also, if you go online, and if they weren't a cool enough foundation as it is, if you buy one of these cool t-shirts, not only does 100% of the donation go to the foundation, but the Spectrum Designs, who they work with to make the shirts, every single shirt is hand printed by someone with autism. So they just go above and beyond. So please, please, please come check out the foundation, go online, see everything that they do, and every day you'll be reading the stories. So please check them out.
Thanks, Kim. So Kim brings up a good point. So we've been working with Spectrum Design since we started probably a year and a half ago. And Spectrum does all our t-shirts. So once again, if you buy a t-shirt, it goes to help them support the young autistic adults find gainful employment. And so all of our t-shirts are made from Spectrum. Once again, the Do It for Love is the same thing. So please support those organizations. One last organization, we've got Sean from Wounded Warriors. So about a year and a half ago, I brought Sean on stage, and he was too shy to introduce Michael Franti. And now he's a spokesman for Wounded Warrior. He's given speeches worldwide. He's famous. He's been in front of 80,000 people at the Jaguar Stadium, 60 or 85,000 at the Swamp. So he'll tell you a little bit about that. So here's Sean Karp with Wounded Warrior.
First off, thank you for everyone coming out tonight, and also Mark for doing the wonderful things that you do. Like you said before, when I met him a year ago, I didn't even want to introduce a band as cool as Michael Franti, and now I'm on stage talking to people about my story and doing a lot of things with Wounded Warrior Project. I'm not on the their payroll. The many things that they've done for me and guys that I've seen injured, what they've done, I like to give back and bring awareness to some of the many people that have been wounded and that need help out there, and in organizations like Wounded Warrior Project give people like me an opportunity to excel in life and do things that many people might not make it without that support. So June 15th, 2012, I was on my second deployment to Afghanistan and Kandahar, and I was walking on dismounted patrol, and I stepped on a pressure plate IED, and from that moment on, it changed my life forever. My wife and kids met me at the hospital, and at the time I didn't even have clothes. I just had the nightgown I was laying in my bed with, and Wounded Warrior Project came in the room and brought me clothes, and I finally got to put on something other than a nightgown. And from that moment on, I've done so many things because of them. In 2013, I got out of the military, and I had no idea what I was going to do. I just re-enlisted the month before I got blown up, so I had planned on doing 20 years in the Army, and to just have your life turned upside down in the blink of an eye, it's kind of hard. You know, you don't know what you're going to do and what you can do. 'Cause I went straight to the military, not having any life skills. So Wounded Warrior Project has a program called the TRACK program, and as soon as I got here, I had to wait like 2 months before I could start it. And so in those 2 months, I stayed at home pretty much and lived in a shell, and became really depressed. And then, you know, after I started that program with the TRACK program, it's a year-long program with 2 semesters of school, and you do those 2 semesters and you do an internship. And I always, growing up, was a Jaguars fan, so I decided to do my internship with the Jaguars. And but without their help and, you know,